some of that. And down straight, don't belong.
Fuck out the way. Fuck out the way. Fuck out the way.
Fuck out the way. That was on a Lil Jon.
I want you fuckers laughing at we partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, swinging, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, all that.
All right. Welcome to the 78th episode of the Drinking Partners Podcast. Yes, this is our Bruce Smith episode because he's one of the all-time greats, and he went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost. And right now, my Cavs look like they're about to go 0-2 in the finals. Feeling some type of way. But Kyrie's putting up numbers, so that's good, but damn it. That's a depressing introduction, man.
I'm trying.
I'm gonna have to go back a year and listen to the episodes a year ago and see how I felt during the finals.
I got no hope for you, man.
I was on the road and like the game. I was going to Jersey. We stopped at a rest stop. And the Cavs were up at halftime, and I had to stop paying attention at that point because I'm like, yo, this shit's too real. This is like too important of a game. Got to my destination, got out of the car, and we had lost by 11. And it's the lowest I've ever felt in my life.
Yeah, that's. I mean, the folks at home got a free taco, right? Wasn't like Taco Bell if you stole a game at home or a away game, you get a free taco. So shout out to tacos,
punk ass tacos. I am half of your hosting tandem, Ed Bailey. I'm joined as always with my co-host Dave Bracey. Say what up to the people.
What's good with you people? We are Drinking Partners, and if you're looking for us, we're on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, and Libsyn under Drinking Partners, and you can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnerSpot. What is it, 78?
78, Bruce Smith.
Man. Yo, rate and review, man, iTunes. Please, if you can hop on iTunes, rate and review, that would help us out a lot. I mean, you've got 78 episodes that you can go off of, give a little, it takes 30 seconds. I mean, that's how we know what we're doing well. That's how we continue to do it well, and that's how we let others know that we're doing well. So please, rate and review.
You tell us you love it. Please tell other people.
Yeah.
And then 78 episodes, you get to see the up and down, the ebb and flow of how I feel about sports. You get to see me up with the Cavs, and then I got to go through that thing with the Browns, and then I'm
You're
up
always
with the Cavs
enthusiastic, like at the beginning of all your seasons, the basketball, the baseball, the football, and then by the end of it, here we are.
Listen, man, being a Cleveland sports fan is like having a really, really bad son. Like you got a son, like you like, yo, school ain't gonna be his thing, but maybe he gonna be a carpenter. You know what I'm saying? Like as long as everything's a misdemeanor, it's gonna be fine. He could come out good at the end, and then
you just gotta lower your expectations. You just gotta be happy that they're in there. It's like the Special Olympics. You just gotta be happy to participate. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what's gonna happen if we lose. Everybody's gonna end up at the bar talking about, hey, man, we was in the finals.
Yeah, at least you're you're number 2.
We was there, man. It was only we got to say it's like it's only 2 teams in this series, and we're one of them. You know what I mean? Like we get to say shit like that.
I was reading articles, and again, I'm not the biggest basketball fan, but I mean, for what it's worth, man. I mean, they are a great fucking team. I mean, just in sports
Warriors,
general. Yeah. I mean, just in sports, I mean, they've got the highest number of wins in a season. I mean, when you're competing against that level to get a game out of it,
they've won more games than the Pirates did last year, I think. They won 88 games this year.
Oh yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
That is crazy. And fuck the Pirates. I got a shirt on, and the folks at home, I got a shirt on with a P. And it's a misconception that the Pirates P it stands for Pirates. It stands for Pittsburgh. So if you ever see me wearing a Pittsburgh hat, I'm wearing it for Pittsburgh and not those bitch ass Pirates. Because fuck that. Because I'm not like a Cleveland fan. If you don't win, we from the city of champions. We about to get a chip in the Stanley. We gonna get a chip in the Super Bowl.
It's up in the air right now. Y'all gotta win. Y'all gotta win tonight.
6 rings. We got 3 chips. Y'all about to get a 4th chip. We ain't got room for the Pirates in the Pittsburgh. I mean, we can send them bitch asses over to Cleveland. Y'all can have them. Y'all can have them motherfuckers. They could be y'all surrogates or something. I don't know.
Hey man, let me tell you something.
Y'all looking to adopt another team?
First of all, you ain't athletic at all. So I'm not gonna sit here and take this shit from you. You cut that. You can cut all that short now.
I'm bagging on the Pirates. Just hoping y'all can adopt the team. I mean, can we get a draft?
The Pirates and the Indians are essentially the same team. They're basically the same team.
The Pirates and all of Cleveland sports are the same team. You know what? I can't say that. But at least they got in the finals.
They got a couple World Series, though.
Oh, yeah, true that. True that. Yeah, they
God
did.
God damn it, I don't even want to talk about it.
Didn't y'all win like the...
I don't want to hear about it.
Like the Dust Bowl of 1940?
I don't know. We'll take anything. Right? We'll take any fucking thing. Let me find out somebody from Cleveland won a soapbox derby. I'm gonna write his name on my sneakers. We're taking all chips.
I got a lot of presidents and astronomers. That's what
man.
y'all
Hey,
good
listen,
for.
we gave y'all Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah,
We gave you Bone Thugs, man, and Gerald Levert and the OJs.
There it is.
And Avant, who
Kid Cudi still
Kid Cudi.
relevant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. So what you get into this weekend, Day?
Not much of nothing, man. My daughter's in town. You know what I mean? And she's
Congratulations, your life sucks again.
yeah, it's she's a weirdo. It's like one of like
As they all
she's
are.
like. She's like me, but she's unrefined, so she just is all over the place and
So
annoying.
you're
as hell.
refined? Or
Yeah,
is that-
I
okay.
try to. I've honed it to a likable asshole.
Okay.
and she's just a raw asshole that you got to still.
Pause.
Yeah, you got to.
Pause. I would never describe my daughter as a raw asshole. What is wrong with you? Buzzy, did you hear this guy? She's a raw asshole. His daughter, of all people. Come on, man.
She's got to be refined to become likable.
She's a raw asshole. Jesus.
But she's,
so early in the cast.
She's she's mine, and she'll get there.
Yeah, man, I had to go to a baby shower because that's what happens when you turn 30 and you have
Yeesh.
kids. You just...
Wait, you went to the baby?
I went to... Yeah, listen, man.
I've never actually been.
My
to, I've
girl's
always just
family,
sent a
everybody's
female
pregnant.
instead.
It was one of those things where I hadn't been to see her family in a while. She
yeah.
was going. She had just gone, and I didn't go. So it was like, all right.
yeah.
Then we got one coming up. I had to like show face. You know, I don't want to
Yeah.
fuck up any of her gifts at the
Yeah,
baby
I
shower.
guess when
So
you
we-
got one in the oven.
yeah, you know what I
you're
mean.
more-
Like we gotta. It was like the politics of it. It's like when Hillary goes to like New Orleans and kisses babies.
yeah,
It's like she
exactly.
don't really want to be there, but she understands that your vote technically kind of sort of counts. So, you know.
Yeah.
But shout out, I had a good time. And her family, they throw like really good. They're like generally like parties and stuff. It's not baby shower-ish. I
saw you
realized
had the crown on deck.
well, you know, when you a man and you had a baby shower, it ain't happen till you go get your bottle.
Yeah,
Gotta get you
yeah.
some brown as a man. Don't be sitting at a baby shower drinking juice, grown man. Get you some brown and just laugh at people. I realized my daughter's not really good at playing at all. She's not good at playing with other children. She's best suited to just run randomly to spots and then run back. And that's all she did the whole baby shower. It was like 39 kids there. She wouldn't play with none of them. She ended up using her taller cousin to get cookies off the table. And I wanted to tell her, like, you can't be using people for
hey,
that.
man, that's the world we in.
But I
man. Get
respected her
ahead.
hustle.
True.
I definitely respected her hustle. She befriended the tallest kid and was like, look, this is what I'm going to need you to do. It
There
was
it
like the
is.
Bernie Mac cookies joke. It was just in the flesh. It's like, oh, give me some milk and cookies.
Yeah, y'all was both over there politicking.
Yeah, well,
it is.
and she saw what daddy was doing and she took heed. So shout out to my daughter. She gonna be a hustler. She gonna be a pimp in her life. Like she gonna be like, what was it, Bree to do? She gonna have her own little stone girl.
the kingpin out there.
So shout out to all the baby showers and all the people who were pregnant because they was having sex unprotected.
Yeah,
it was
shout out to
fun.
that.
It was fun when you was doing it. Rawbles, shout out to all the Rawbles out there.
And
All
Mrs. Rawbles in the,
yeah,
of the
all,
world.
all the Rawble chicks out there.
All y'all niggas that couldn't make it to Walgreens in time to get that.
All y'all who was 74 cents short on the condoms. You just like, you know what? I'm gonna see how far she let me take it. All you dudes who don't really know their stroke count and just spill. Just the worst baby is the baby that came from spillage.
all y'all niggas that trusted the condoms that she had lying around there. Remember,
Yeah, I'm talking shit
BYOC.
like my girl ain't pregnant. I want to know if my son's a spillage baby or just a full. Listen, because I feel like all the famous people, all the politicians and presidents come from full nuts. Like someone busts a full, complete nut in they woman.
They had to be like
All the bus
chasers.
drivers, all the janitors, they was on pullouts. It was like they pre-cum babies. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out where I am in the spectrum. Am I? I might be a pre-cum.
I was a cheap baby, so
Ooh.
I don't know.
You definitely
man.
was a full nut.
Yeah, I think he might have just went in there and think that, because this is back before, they had social media and all that shit. So he thought he was just going to go skip across town and wasn't going to be found.
Remember when you could just go across town and not be found?
Have a whole other life a bridge away. That's
You gotta leave the planet now. You gotta go to Venus to get away from these kids now. God damn.
truth.
They find out we got TV shows. Maury fucking pulling people out.
Cause I busted another chick, man. I'm growing my hair out and changed my name to Krish Mohan. It's
Ooh.
over.
Do you have that grade of hair?
I can pull it off. Get a little relaxer, keep it moving.
So we got a special guest in a special place. We're not in our normal spot. I like this though. It's like we're in a boardroom.
Yeah,
almost mad business, like, and it's the product of not handling business correctly. That's what's awesome about having a good show. You can fuck up and it works out in your favor.
Yeah, people juggling this for something.
Hey, man. But we have a definitely, he's not I don't know, he might be a pre-cum baby. I'm not sure. We'll see how this podcast goes.
Guys.
Judging by his music, he's definitely a full orgasm baby.
He sounds like it, man.
Yeah. So we got Nerd Boy. Do you go by Nerd Boy, Devin Swain, or you want to leave the government out? We'll just go Nerd Boy, even though the government's on there. He can always delete that out. But we got Nerd Boy in the building. Say what up to the people.
Yo, what's up, people? It's Nerd Boy in the building, coming from Philadelphia, but I've been in Pittsburgh the last 7 years. I ain't claiming that shit though.
Hey, that's one of the top what up to the peoples, because he started off full Hot 97 radio interview and then went to, but I am in Pittsburgh. Yeah. He has so much confidence, but then he was like, damn, I am in Pittsburgh. So that wouldn't happen if he was in Cleveland. In Cleveland, he'd have just been like, yo, I'm from Philly. He'd have never mentioned that he was even in Cleveland.
This takes me back to college, because I had roommates. I had one Cleveland roommate, I had one Philly roommate, and I was coming from Pittsburgh. So I mean, this is like a throwback for me. I mean,
I hope it's positive memories.
Oh yeah, man. I love them dude to death, man.
I just found my next joke. Pre-cum babies versus full nut babies. That's classic. So I wanted to describe you as a rapper, but I don't even like to just put you in that box. You're such a good entertainer. It's like you're just an entertaining fellow on stage who raps. So maybe that's what we'll call him, an entertainer who raps. Is that a fair description of you? Or
that rocks with me. That's cool.
What do you think is more important? What do you put more emphasis on, your rap lyrics or your entertainment?
Well, I think they're two separate things. I think on the entertainment side, I think I definitely want to approach every stage like I look at it like this. I put a lot of emphasis on my lyrics when I'm crafting them and I'm sitting there and I'm listening to a beat. I'm trying to figure out what I want to say, and I put a lot of time into it. So even on the silly songs, I still want people to get some kind of content. Right. But when I got to get out there and get in front of people, then as good as my lyrics might be, some references might fly over people's heads. So I'm just like, I look at it like this. I want to be an all-purpose type entertainer. So if you feel like, all right, well, maybe I'm off my game. Maybe I can't remember every one of my lyrics verbatim the way I recorded it. But if I can give you something to think about visually with what I'm wearing, or if I can give you some personality, or if I can give you just some humor, then you'll be able to look at it and be like, yo, that's really cool, because he gave us some lyrics, but he also gave us some entertainment. So I feel like I put a lot of emphasis on both. But if I had to choose between entertainment or the lyrics, I would have to say entertainment is bigger, because I want to be seen as more than just a rapper. However, I don't want people to look past me as a rapper too. I don't want people to be like, oh, he don't got no bars, because at the end of the day, you can't call yourself a rapper. You don't got bars.
Yeah, I think Day and I, we talk about this all the time when we talk about our shows and we talk about comedy. It's a show. It's not you going up and being a comedian. It's a show. So we have to make sure when we produce shows that they're entertaining shows. And whenever you go up and you do a long form set in comedy, it has to be entertaining. If you just go up there and just like, all right, look, I'm going to deliver these bars to you, comedic bars, and I ain't going to have nothing else with it, you're not going to make it in this world, especially when they can just get a joke anywhere. I mean, they can go anywhere and get a joke. People putting jokes on Vine, Instagram, Snapchat, all that shit. So
yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be one of those like standstill type dudes, your content has to be like superb, like stellar, like so out of this world.
You gotta be like Big Pun, basically, who was not going to do a lot. He wasn't going to do a lot of moving on stage, but just because of his flow and his stage presence, it didn't really matter.
Well, he was also half the stage, so
yeah, he was
like, he just leaned one way or the other.
Yeah, he got a lot of sympathy. Like, all right, we don't want you to, we don't need you needing a hip replacement after this. God bless the
right.
They say it about Jigga though. They say Jigga's not that great of a showman, but I guess his lyrics and people love him so much.
You know what, man? I saw him over at with Watch the Throne, and it was one of the best shows that I had ever seen in my life. It was Kanye and Jigga, and it was just like, but it was just because it was like, you're looking at like 20 years of straight hits between two mega stars that it's like it doesn't matter. Every song you're vibing with. You know what I mean? Back and forth for 2.5 hours.
Well, I feel like with Jay, so I've never seen him perform live before, but watching some of the videos I've seen from like the Bad Boy anniversary tour and everything, I saw when they were doing Angels, and everybody knows that they sample Angels from cough up along where I'm from. Oh, see, son. Well, that one I forgot what the track was called off of In My Lifetime. Right. But Jay, he rips that whole. If you talking about prime Jay as far as his flow and all that stuff, he did it. And the way they brought him out the stage, and he did the same thing like Ed said. Like he just kind of just stood in one place. Yeah. But it's just like the verse is just so dope,
and the charisma's there. I think he's just cornered the market on charisma. Like everybody just loves his charisma. So we have to go through the stock questions, obviously, of how you got started and stuff like that. But I'm very interested in your influences because watching you perform, it's unlike any other rapper I've seen. I mean, there's so much energy involved. I would assume that your influences may come outside of rap to a large extent. Is that fair to say? Or?
That's absolutely fair to say. I would say so. Just getting back to the raw hip hop influences, I would say guys like early Kanye West. Okay. 04 Kanye is the biggest influence over me. And one time I actually almost got, I mean, it wasn't really going to be a fist fight, but I remember I was performing at this party, and this dude, I guess he was jealous because the girl that asked me to perform, it was like a house party. It's like one of these big ass mansion type joints in Coriopolis, which I still don't feel like I'm pronouncing the right way because it got that it got the extra O and shit in there.
I think it's Coriopolis.
Coriopolis, whatever.
Yeah. Pittsburgh. Oh, it's like
Coriopolis. Whatever. Coriopolis. West End shit. Is that the West End?
That's like
it ain't even
north,
the West End.
Yeah,
I'm
like
just saying some bullshit right now.
Yeah, it's like northwest.
Nobody listening.
Thank God for GPS.
Yeah, true.
Ain't nobody gonna be in Coriopolis.
Yeah, this shit ain't a traditional grid. But anyway, so I was out there performing and stuff, and then this dude was like, "Yo, man, your whole style, it's like Kanye." And he was like, and I was like, I don't know where he's from. He's from Pittsburgh, but he talking with this weird ass accent and shit. He always trying to front. And I was just like, well, yeah, Kanye's one of my influences, but he's not the only influence. Yeah. And I don't want to be like a biter. I don't want to be like a Gorilla Black to Biggie Smalls. Like, it's nothing like that.
I liked Gorilla Black, man. I'm strictly business, just like EPMD.
I just remember that one track, the Compton,
That's what I was rapping.
Yeah, I wouldn't even recognize the verse.
Where they dip the cigarettes to PCP.
Wow.
I'll be listening to
the fact that you know that, I mean,
it was a good song.
And Beanie Man, it was. Oh yeah, Shine was doing it too.
Yeah. They said Shine was organic. Like that's just real.
That's just how he sounds.
That's just how he sound. It's just Biggie was so big that you just wasn't allowed to sound
but
like
it was
that.
just crazy how he sound with Bad Boy. Like
I think that's more Puff than Shine.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
If you're trying to get signed, you gonna take a Bad Boy deal. In 94, you're taking a Bad Boy deal.
You're taking a Bad Boy deal. But to get back to, I would say that, so early Kanye, Common, Lupe Fiasco, I think those are big influences over me from just a lyrical standpoint. But then I think from a style standpoint, because I look at all the facets of hip hop, so style wise, I can be all over the place. As that time, like when we were at James Street, and I was wearing the clown pants, I had on some weird, I had on some real weird shit.
He'll wow you when he steps on stage. He's gonna grab your attention one way or another, either with his moves or his clothes. I'll tell you that.
I mean, look, I come from, right now I'm working at Westinghouse High School, and everything that you do as an adult is either titty or ass. So I got to make sure that my shit ain't ass. So if my lyrics are ass, if they feel like, yo, it's ass or it's titty, it's like, yo, but you know what? That nigga looks silly, but he got a lot of heart for coming out here like that, because I can never do that shit.
You will win some people with the heart. Like, yo, that motherfucker, he confident in himself. You the only rapper I know who raps in boat shoes. I don't know another rapper who's going up there in boat shoes.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know where that came from with wearing the boat shoes, but it's just something.
It's your shoes
with the shit in the socks, and you just put it together. And then, like, style wise, it's like a Pharrell, Andre 3000 type thing. And then from a performance standpoint, it's more actually James Brown, Michael Jackson, Prince, that type of thing. And
very good performance.
And right. And I'm looking at them, even trying to hold on to the masculinity that I have, even a little bit of Beyonce, a little bit too. Like I would just say, like, whoever is a performer that's really over the top, but they just grab you like that. I think that's what it is. I think what doesn't help is when you're dark skinned and you got big eyes, and everybody basically says you have so many different celebrity doppelgangers. So sometimes kids want to be mean. They want to say Arsenio Hall, or if it's a Chris Tucker, or sometimes it's Wesley Snipes, sometimes it's Jazzy Jeff. Whoever people want to feel like
All
flame.
those are
boy
applicable.
off of House, the black dude.
Omar Epps.
Omar Epps.
Omar
yeah,
Epps sometimes,
God damn.
It depends. Will I Am. It's just
damn.
No, that's how
They be
it
getting
is
me.
though. When you're black, it's like I'm every bald, light skinned dude with a beard. I'm that dude, man. It was crazy.
Joe
'cause
Budden.
somebody, Joe Budden,
Carlos
Common, all of them.
Boozer.
But it's crazy. Somebody posted a picture of a potato with a beard and was like, a yellow potato with a beard, and was like, every bald skin, light skinned nigga looks like this. And I couldn't say anything because it was true. I was just like heated as fuck. I was just looking at this potato like it was my brother, and it was a potato with a beard on it, cuz. It's I feel you, man.
So that brings us to our first public service announcement of the episode. Listen, white people, stop coming up to black people telling us who we look like, all right? Well, we know who the fuck we look like. We look in the mirror every goddamn day. We got cable. He's seen Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
Who else did you name? Because I'm just trying to get this out there again.
Wesley Snipes, Jazzy Jeff,
Jeff.
Arsenio Hall, Chris Tucker, Will I Am.
Don't you ever in your fucking life walk up to me and tell me I look like DJ Jazzy Jeff? Kick you right in the nads, you asshole. Come to a grown ass man, say you look like Jazzy Jeff.
I think I racist somebody sometime or this one time. My boy, shout out David Singer or whatever, he's a reporter. He looked like the dude off of Ant-Man, the villain off of Ant-Man. He's white, he bald head. And my girl told me, she was like, he doesn't look anything like that. I was like, yeah, he does. Look at it. She was like, you're just saying that because he's white and bald head. And it might be true. It might.
But that's part of his appearance. Like, we're talking about the dude's appearance. Skin color and hair texture are two huge parts of what the fuck you look like.
I don't know. People's in the blend, man.
Hey, I just saw somebody saying on Facebook that Tyronn Lue looks like that dude JJ Fish or something like that.
He does.
He do look like him.
You ain't have to bring
who's
the camera back in.
the light skinned dude off of the Clippers? They said he looked like the PBS symbol and shit.
Oh, Klay Thompson.
He said he
Off
looked
the
like
Warriors,
he
does.
Like,
that shit was funny.
That's
Now
mad
we're doing it.
disrespectful.
Yeah, we're doing, I mean, it's like the N word. I mean, it's like nigga. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know. I mean, hey, it's different rules. It is what it is.
I had a fucking question 7 minutes ago that I thought forgot.
It's all good.
Hey man, I'll take a Joe Budden and a Common reference if it's gonna get that. Yeah,
Common. I forgot about Common.
Oh, you know he getting common. You know you saved this black man. No,
Yeah,
so
no.
how have you found people to? Well, I guess when you first started, were people a little apprehensive about your performance and style, and have they grown to become more accepting, or have people always been like, you know what, I bangs with his confidence, I bangs with his performance, and then because like I feel like your lyrics can get lost in your performance, and people are not willing to really sit down and just be like, okay, let me hear what this young man has to say.
Well, I think I'll be honest. Sometimes I feel like Mr. Magoo up there just kind of just being blind and just walking around bumping into shit because I really don't know what I'm doing a lot of times. I'm doing what I feel like based on my influences, I'm just taking that and going on stage and doing it. And that's why like every time I perform, I don't really get too caught up in people's praise or whatever they say, because the thing is like you're saying that, but you could have been laughing at me the whole time, and you could have been, and it's like a difference between like laughing at me and laughing with me, because like if you laughing with me, then it's like, all right, I said some funny shit and you was like, all right, yo, that's funny, he cracked me up. But if you laughing at me, it's because it's like, look at this simple nigga on stage right now. And what I never want to be is like, I don't want to be a minstrel show for anybody.
Yeah, that's
because it's a fine line between, it's like, wow, he's really comical and entertaining and I like it, but there's still like some intelligence with the humor, as opposed to this is just some fool that got diarrhea to the mouth and I'm gonna just laugh at him and shit just because I think he's silly, and I hope that he flames out. So for me, it's really hard to know, because I don't think people give me a lot of genuine feedback. And I think so if I'm talking to you, for example, and I see you have a really good night, and I feel like overall it's a really good night, then I want to be able to tell you, yo, Ed, you had the crowd rolling that time. But then if I feel like, yo, you know, Ed, you kind of beat that joke into the ground, or you forced this one a little bit, or the audience participation wasn't there. Yeah, if you can give me that shit, but my thing is like constructive is like you trying to build me back up too.
Yeah.
So don't just be hitting me with the negative shit. Be like, yo, nigga, you need work.
And you know that crowd wasn't even nowhere near you, like just talking dumb shit.
And one of the things that I really have a problem with is when people, when they give like whack niggas, when they give them compliments and then they turn around and give me compliments and they expect me to walk on like I'm some little kid. And that's why I think I'm not a parent. You guys are both parents, but I work with kids, and I was reading something about how it's really interesting how you can actually mess your kids up by applauding every little single thing that they do. Mm-hmm. And it's not that you don't applaud them for doing something special, because if one of your daughters, or you have a daughter? Mm-hmm. Okay, right. If one of your daughters does something really great that she's never done before, whether it's walk, whether it's say a big word or something, then you want to applaud her. But after a while though, if she says the word and she says it only because she knows every time she says the word, my daddy's going to get all hype and he's going to be like, oh, let me take you to Toys R Us. Like, no, like it's not like that. Like, you're supposed to be doing that. I'm surprised you're not on the next word. Yeah. So for me, like, I don't want people giving me empty ass compliments. And I think sometimes when you have a personality, when you make yourself accessible to people, then they feel like they know you and they feel like they got a piece of you so that they can just kind of say whatever. And I'm just going, basically, I'm not really a big health nut or anything like that, but I just kind of look at it as like constructive criticism is like organic food. And then the lip service compliments are just kind of like that shit you just get on the corner store. Yeah. And it's like, don't give me that shit and expect me to walk around like I'm some little ass kid, because I'm about to be 30 in July. I don't need no fairy tale shit. If you think that what I did was really cool, then, you know what I'm saying, like then I appreciate hearing that. But if you don't really bang with it, then don't gas me up. Yeah. Never gas me up, because I don't need that, because that's how we get complacent.
That's the death of success, man. If you get into the gassing or whatever and you start to believe all the hype, and you ain't got like, if you got your yes men around you and you ain't got nobody like actually giving you that like, yo, bruh, you know what I mean? Like you said, the constructive shit it's mad easy to get lost.
Have you had a situation where you've turned someone who looked at you as a minstrel show into someone who's like, yo, I really respect the craft? Have you ever been able to kind of see that happen? Because I could see that happening with you, where someone's like, oh, he's just gonna come up and be a goofball,
right, and be a clown or some shit, or he not really gonna spit or anything like that, or with a name like Nerd Boy that precedes you before you even get on the stage. You know, it's easy for people to kind of make up their own things. But I remember one time I was performing at the Squirrel Hill Sports Bar, and I used to go there for their open mic every Sunday. I stopped going there because, like, I don't smoke, and it just got a little bit too much with the cigarette smoke. Yeah. I'm like, yo, I never understood. I don't know. This is just a random thing. I'm sure you guys can take into a joke because you guys are funnier than I am. But it's just like, I don't get how you can have. I don't like. Why is there smoking in a bar? Like, around food,
usually when,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, usually a bar,
it's
like
weird.
when I look at a bar, I'm like, because I usually only smoke like tobacco when I drink. You know what I mean? Right. Or I got a little, you know what I mean? So it's like it's a marriage of the two.
Goes
you know what I mean?
hand.
Like food is a second thought when I'm at the bar. You know what I mean? Like, now there's some places that are like restaurants / bars, but like there should be some like, and that's what I don't get. That's my biggest complaint. Like, if you're a hole in the wall bar, and like the only thing you got is like some French fries, like some shit off of the, I mean, out of the grease. Like, why can't I smoke? I mean, like, and I guess with the patrons, you know what I mean? But from the other side, I can see the other side where you're like, you know, I don't smoke. Why should I be subjected to it?
Because then if your hair and your clothes and shit is smelling like that,
it all smells,
and it's intense. It's not like it's a smoking section.
Yeah,
and then it's like niggas performing over here. You know, let's keep the. It's like
it's a dive bar. Like, if you're a dive bar, I think at a dive bar should be a dive bar. When you go in there,
it should be grimy, and
it should be grimy.
Okay, I feel that.
You should be like questioning the fucking glasses that they're serving you and shit.
Yeah,
you
the cook shouldn't look like he can actually cook.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
The chick should be gruff and like not likable.
Tattoo right on the front of her neck or some shit.
Right,
so those type of spots.
Like, because like, I mean, that's what you because if you try to change it, then you're gonna start pushing out, and it's like, why should I be uncomfortable outside in the cold?
Gentrifying the dive bar.
Yeah, I'm outside.
You done East Ended the dive bar.
I never thought about it like that.
It should be a haven for smokers. Yeah, I mean, in the wintertime.
Right.
I mean, that's where I go. Like, now I don't expect to go to Mad Mix and smoking that.
Nah,
But like if I'm going
they ain't with
down
that.
down the schmoes over in like East Lib or whatever, and then there's a court. Man, why am I going outside freezing?
Right.
It's
Nah,
like
you know what?
5 degrees. I mean, like
My bad, man. I think my privilege took over me right there. So that's why I was saying
I
that shit.
feel you. I hate
good.
being in
Nah, it's-
smoky ass places
It just-
when I don't be smoking cigarettes, and then you go home and you
Well-
know, I got wifey, and then she know you done been at a bar, like
Right.
I
Like,
shoot
you-
all this gum in the car to get the liquor off my breath, but I can't get the fucking cigarettes off my t-shirt.
And the weird thing is just like, and I don't smoke, but like the weird thing is like weed. The smell of weed is different than like the smell of cigarette smoke.
yeah, cigarettes
So
are
it's
happiness.
a very
Like
distinct.
or a hookah or something like it don't be like that. It just be like, well, anyway, I can go on and on about that. But I was at the Squirrel Hill Sports Bar, and this dude, after I performed, he told me like, you know, when you first got up there and you was talking about you nerdable and everything, I was like ready to start laughing and shit. But then you started spitting, I was like, all right, you know, that's what's up. And I think for me, it's weird because I oftentimes, even though I want to be like 04 Kanye and I want to be like all these other guys, sometimes I have to kind of come to grips with the fact that some people are going to see 04 Kanye, some people are going to see Wayne Brady. So I mean, and a hard thing, or some people are going to see the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but they might not see the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that was spitting parents just don't understand. They might, or Summertime, they might see Will Smith that was doing Millennium. And my thing is, I don't,
not Millennium.
Yeah.
but you know
Not
what?
Switch.
But I mean, some go no. So now you went really Switch. That was a separate album. That was 05. Yeah. Little louder. Yeah. Switch. Yeah.
You talking about Jiggy with it?
No, Jiggy. No. See, here's the difference. See, Switch is that bullshit. Switch is that bullshit that came out in 05.
I forgot he was from Philly. Hold on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I take that shit to
hit
heart.
close to home.
I take that shit to heart. But no. But no. At least with Millennium, you know, you get. I mean, the brother did go quintuple platinum.
Yeah.
Which now you see
Without cursing.
J. Cole, right? Without cursing, you see J. Cole just went double platinum, but his album came out like December 2013, and it just went double platinum. But still, even for somebody like him, like with no features, basically to do that, then that's pretty big. But it just shows you where we are, because back then, like everybody was selling, like everybody was selling, like it was nothing. Like I don't know.
He had dropped Independence Day. You see Independence
Yeah.
Day, you'll support the man's album.
Yeah.
Bad Boys, The Fresh Prince. I mean, he built up his fan base so well. But my thing is, like, I don't really care if people see me as a Will Smith or a Wayne Brady, as long as they acknowledge the fact that I can spit. And I think that's why it's really good for me to try to experiment with different sounds and stuff that are going to showcase me more as an MC. But at the same time, like one of my favorite rappers right now is Chance the Rapper, and I was listening to Coloring Book.
I was trying to listen to that, man, on the way
It's
in.
a gospel
I can't-
rap album, and
It's
tough.
harder.
I
It's
can't
tough.
get with. I'm not a Chance fan. Man. I'm just not. I tried listening to acid rap. I didn't really like it. Then I heard
fucks
he
with
made the
acid
whole
rap
album
heavy.
on acid, and I was
A
like,
Yeah,
lot
I
of his
fuck with acid
hardcore
rap
fans,
heavy,
they mess
yeah.
with acid rap more because the gospel themes were really over the top in Coloring Book. I will admit that, but I just feel like for Chance is one of those dudes. And maybe I gotta go back and listen to acid rap. I downloaded it, but I haven't listened to it like in its entirety. But I think that he's not, in my opinion, a super lyrical dude, but some guys can make a really good album where, because he uses his voice as an instrument and he's got the different flows, then at least he can keep you captivated. And with me, it didn't keep. I know, obviously, it doesn't work. He's not.
I'm an old nigga now, man. If you got to get me. If you don't get me, you lost me.
I like his word like his wordplay is real nice. I mean, he's got the little, you throw some tongue twisters in there or whatever. And like you said, his style is diverse.
His style. I
it.
think for him, I would say this. I think so. Some guys you look at, it's like, can you spit or not? With Chance, I don't think you look at it like that. At least I don't necessarily. I think with Chance, because you get all the extra stuff with the style and the personality, and he's this dude that's happy all the time and stuff like that, then you're getting something different. So I think it's kind of like a take it or leave it type thing with Chance. And like it reminds me of Kendrick, like because when Kendrick first came out, I didn't really like Kendrick that much.
We're not gonna get into that again because I told people I didn't like Kendrick. Everybody wants. I get death threats because I say I'm not a huge Kendrick fan. Here's what I guess I'm with you on that, in the sense that it's not that I don't think Chance or Kendrick can rap. I'm just not entertained by their stuff as much as other people are.
Gotcha.
And it's different. It's art, so they're different. They have
It's an
different
acquired taste.
Yeah, it's different ways to go about it. Like there are some comedians who are booming who I don't think are funny, but they're really good at doing certain things that get their comedy in the right places.
Okay, so since you brought up that, I'm not and it's funny because sometimes people ask me with what I'm doing, my stand-up comedian, but like certain things I don't claim. I just let people decide for themselves because I know you now, and my thing is for you guys to actually, it's so hard. I want to just let you guys know, like I respect what you guys, anybody that can stand up and say I'm a comedian. Period. Now I'm a comedian / actor. Like if you guys get acting roles, I think that's great. That's great for all y'all. But
I'm trying to be in Best Man 7. That's why I'm back. That's why I'm back in the gym, ladies.
Absolutely.
I'm back in the gym getting ready for that towel scene. I'm
Right.
gonna come out the motherfucking back and slide in a towel and just singing the OJs and shit. It's gonna be dope.
You know how much courage you gotta have to call yourself a comedian? Because look at how we look at Charlie Murphy when we look at him on the Chappelle show, and then we look at him doing stand-up. It's not the same thing. Even when we look at Chappelle, we said, wow, you gave us great art back in the early 2000s with your show, but then we look at you stand up, it's like that. When you say you're a comedian, that's not an actor.
Chappelle is a prophet.
Chappelle,
He was sent here.
Chappelle is that dude.
He's a completely different dude,
But
man.
like for example, just to your point, Mike Epps, for example, I think he's kind of a hit or miss guy because when he first came out, he had so much momentum with Next
Friday dude,
yeah. But it's just like with him. But it's funny because to me, I would take, if we're talking about prime Chris Tucker versus Mike Epps. Mike Epps is somebody that I think is an overachiever. He gets the most out of what he can do, but his stand-up isn't really over-the-top funny. Chris Tucker, when he was in his prime, couldn't nobody fuck with Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
But then he fell off, and then, it is what it is.
Well, here's what Mike Epps did. Because I was a huge Mike Epps fan, and I actually still am. I'm very proud of what the man has been able to accomplish.
Absolutely.
But what I learned, and I listened to an interview, and Mike, and he just approaches comedy different. What he approaches a comedy show or a special as a concert. And so what happens when you go to a Jay-Z concert? He goes and he gives you Jigga, the albums. You know what I mean? Like when you go see Kanye in concert, you're not going to hear Kanye's album that's about to come out that you never heard before. You go to hear the shit that Kanye's already done. And that's what Mike Epps does. He says when people pay to see me, they pay to see me do, I seen my grandmother flicking ashes. And they pay to see that. So that's why he continues to do that. And that's how he's going to make his money. He throws some new pop culture shit in, but for the most part,
he's
his
not a
act
trendy
is,
dude.
But his act is based on being a hood nigga, a broke nigga, somebody who's trying to come up and get money, and now he has money. You know what I mean? And that's not what his act is. He can't be that same person with money. And it happened to Kevin Hart too, to a lesser extent. We loved Kevin Hart so much in the beginning because he was a regular guy dealing with a relationship.
Right.
Then he got money. And then his comedy tried to reflect the money, but me making whatever, if I'm making 50,000 sitting in the crowd, it's funny when you talk about renting a amusement park out with D Wade, but nigga, you still talking about renting an amusement park out with D Wade. Like I can't relate to that.
That's the same thing with
fuck with that.
And that's what it is. Like I'm looking at say the Kanye's whatever, because like Kanye is my biggest influence in comedy. Yeah, like I got into comedy because he's like his persona of the big, braggadocious, larger than life, player. I mean, a lot, and his punchlines were very comedic. The whole his persona, I took that on stage with me. That because I love his comedy bars or whatever. You know what I mean? So I get that or whatever, but it gets to a point where you're looking at like Watch the Throne, the luxury rap. You know what I mean? And same thing with Jay-Z. It's now you're rapping about shit that I really can't fuck with now. Now, there's some shit that he can rap, relationship shit. It doesn't matter how much money you got. Your relationship shit is always going to be relationship shit. You know what I mean? No matter what. But when you start talking about, we out here in Maybachs with the tinted windows. It's
And I think Epps doesn't want to alienate that core fan base who's always going to pay money when he comes to town.
Yeah.
And they're gonna support his new show, Uncle Buck, where he can take that stage.
I want that to be successful.
I actually want to see that. Because I was a big fan of the movie Uncle Buck. I'm liking the fact that they're throwing a black dude in there as Uncle Buck. And I mean, the premise is funny as shit.
And I think Nia Long will be a good.
I'll always watch Nia Long.
Oh
What do you mean? I just watched Love Jones on my cell phone.
I might not watch it.
I just saw Boys in the Hood earlier.
And,
so she's got
Let me tell you how fine she is. I watched Love Jones once or twice a month, hoping that I see her titty. And there is absolutely no scene where her titty looks like it's about to come out. But I just hope there's a deleted scene or something. I've not seen Nia Long's titties, and I feel like that's not cool.
She doesn't age.
Well, let me ask y'all: was that
titties?
Was that her titties in the scene in Boys in the Hood where he's finally getting with Brandy and everything? Was that really her? I think it was.
Boys in the Hood? I don't think her titties was in Boys in the Hood.
But somebody's was out when he finally, remember after, I think this was after the cops said.
When he came in swinging, right?
He came in swinging, and then he finally got with her, and they
Wait, let me go revisit that to see if maybe I prematurely said
it's somebody's titty.
titty.
I just know that, what's the name? There's nothing like, what's the name's titties? What's the Spanish girl? Damn.
Salma Hayek?
No, the loud, White Men Can't Jump.
Rosie Perez.
Rosie Perez.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was my
titties.
Right.
That was my first titty.
And
those
White
are
Men
good
Can't
titties.
Jump and Do the Right Thing.
Yeah.
Like where he was icing. Like
I like her titties in White Man Can't Jump more because it's a titty that I might have seen in my lifetime. This was a really good, like in a big baggy ass T-shirt in the crib.
But she was also in Do the Right Thing, and Pookie was.
I don't want Spike Lee to see no titties. Like Spike Lee being in that scene, I would much rather Woody Harrelson suck that titty than Spike Lee. And I don't know if I'm alienating the listener.
I know what you
more likely
mean.
to touch a titty that Spike Lee has touched. As opposed to Woody.
It's like when you see Tyler Perry co-star opposite like these beautiful
Tyler
friends.
Perry,
Oh, you
man.
shouldn't have brought him
Fuck
up.
everything Tyler
Sorry.
Perry, man.
Yeah.
Fuck that nigga. And fuck him.
He's a good.
You know
dude.
he's in the Ninja. He's in the new Ninja
He's
Turtles
a minstrel
movie.
show. He's the minstrel show. He's the reason why when I get on stage and I tell black jokes and white people laugh at him, I gotta wonder: are they laughing for the right reasons? Am I a Tyler Perry type nigga? Like Medea? How many times you gonna put on a dress and do the look at what
going back
I'm a
to
job talking ass black woman? Like,
Going back to Ed's Prophet comment about Dave Chappelle, we all know about the video where he's sitting on the couch with Oprah and he's basically talking about emasculating yourself in order. Because it's one thing, like if a dude, I feel like this, if a dude's act has always been him putting on a dress, then we might not agree with it personally, but at least if that's who he was when he came in the game, then he's not selling out because he's doing it. But if you've been in the game and you've been having success a certain way, and then you feel like, all right, I'm hitting a glass ceiling. Either I put on a dress and I get mass appeal and much more earning potential, or I don't put on a dress.
But I don't think it's putting on the dress. It's how you put on the dress. Martin put on a dress,
And we didn't
lot.
look at right.
But it was.
Although Big Mama's house did become Medea-ish when he kept it going.
No, I mean,
Then he had
did.
once he put Brandon T. Jackson in that motherfucker, then we had to stop supporting it. Like that was Big Mama House 2.5 or some shit like that. Like then it had to go.
I mean, my thing about Tyler Perry, like I've seen his movies and and even outside of Medea. And then here's my thing: one, you're doing easy fucking humor. That's low hanging. Like, oh, I'm a black dude in a dress. Yeah, I mean, you start off with that. So I
got a
don't
gun.
that.
I'll kill him and all that.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, like
Seems
that
he
bullshit.
just exploits.
Yeah, exactly. You're exploiting the fuck, and then like, I see his movies or whatever. I watched that for black girls or whatever, like for colored girls or whatever, and like every black Christian conservative like view is in it. Like the gay dude in the marriage gave her AIDS. Like all the men in there were horrible as fuck. They were beating women. They were cheating on women. They were fucking like offering them money for sex. Like it was just like I was just like,
there's always a mechanic that's a good dude, but he don't
like
make a lot of money.
Shamar
but he's a really
Moore or whatever.
He gave Shamar Moore braids. Like, come on, man! I've been
Yeah.
watching Criminal Minds for 8 years. I can't be watching this shit, and this nigga got braids.
The Boris Kojo, I think that was that one
like
movie.
and then like the one dude killed the motherfucking people. Like it was like every horror black story that like was trying to tug a string, and he dumped them all into one movie and put it out there for black
It's
girls.
church
and when
folks.
he said for black, it's all church folks.
And that's
when he
how
said
you
for
got to
black
entertain
girls-
church folks, though.
Yeah,
you ever hung out with a super churchy person?
That's exactly what it's for. That's
Like
how
the type of churchy person that throws you off. I used to fuck with this chick and her mom was super churchy, and like I would be at their crib and I would be like, "Yo, fuck your mom, yo." Like she know I'm beating your guts out in her house. Does she know that with all this fucking scripture she trying to bring? You gonna bring me a scripture and we watching a movie? Like I'm fucking your daughter. Like you better get hip.
They don't turn it off, man.
Like
You
we
be
fucking now. Like I don't know. You came up doing some other shit, but like now, like.
Well,
I just spent some meal blocks on her. I'm getting that ass.
well, it is annoying when you meet the holy sanctified people because I just recently saw with the tragedy with the mass shooting that happened in Orlando. I
that's
saw,
crazy.
Right, and I saw something at the gay club, and I saw something big. I saw it was like a post or something. It was talking about how the irony of how right wing Christians have have tried to do so many things, get laws passed that basically keep the LGBTQ community from having their rights, but now they're all sending their prayers. But when you're in the pulpit, you're not asking God to protect them too. You're asking God, to
hypocrisy,
kill them. And it's just like,
you a right-wing Christian, but then you kill motherfuckers for being gay? Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, they're wrong for being gay, but you cool to kill them? Like, that's...
Well, I mean, but that's the thing, though, is that, like, but your message is gay is wrong, and then when a bunch of gays die, your, like, heart goes out to them. It's like, but you kind of cultivated that message of it's wrong. You know what I mean? And when you get... And that's the problem when you have these messages, is that when you say, oh, well, that's a radical. And it's like, is it really a radical? They're just taking the purest form of that word. If that word in its purest form is called radicalism, because there's no radical, like, equality. Nobody's like, oh, shit, they're taking this equality shit too far. It's radical equality. It's like, nah. But if you could take something to a radical point, then maybe that point...
Well, to use your point, and then we'll get back to talking about this hip hop shit. But just real quick, I was just thinking about what you're saying as far as the hypocrisy. That's how I feel whenever I see white people overly upset and vocal about Muhammad Ali passing away, because it's like, because we've seen this movie before where we get whitewashed, and the thing is, it's just like when Ali was knocking people out and he was talking about, and he was telling the world about themselves, he was talking about how you don't respect a black man or anything like that. When he was doing all that shit, and he came out as being a member of the Nation of Islam and all that.
They weren't fucking with him.
Right, and they like, think about it, they took away damn near 4 prime years of his career, and that's what he had to sacrifice just because he didn't want to go to the Vietnam War. But then when you hear white people, when they talk about him now, they talk about how he transcended race. And I never really thought about how problematic that term is, that phrase is about transcendent race. Because at first when I thought about it, I would be like, all right, Michael Jackson, he transcended race. Prince, he transcended race. He was bigger than just being a black dude. But then when white people say it, though, it becomes a tool for them to gain access to us. When with Muhammad Ali, you're talking about arguably the most unapologetically black superstar that we ever had in the athletic world, and you're trying to take him and you trying to act like, oh, well, he transcended race. So that means he wasn't just fighting for black people, he was fighting for all people.
Nah, he was fighting for black people.
I actually had posted something, on Twitter like last week or whatever, and of course my mentions were aflame, as a result of it, but like, when I like, and I get it coming from like, because you can use that term negatively, but like also it could be a positive. Like, I mean, as a comedian, I try to transcend race in the sense that, like, because I get on stage and I tell nigga jokes, and I'm black. I'm very much a black dude, and as soon as I get on stage, I let you know I'm a black dude, and I'm always gonna be a black dude. But I'm not gonna make any more like we're not gonna make friends, and we're not gonna like make any movements unless we can get a message out that transcends race, like something like peace. It's something that like is a message that like it doesn't take race. And if from the outside, if you can view and with Muhammad Ali, him being so unapologetically black and so in your face, if you can take that message that he has of we want our fucking rights, I'm not about to go over there and fight for these, for you guys, and you can't fight for us at home. If you could take that message and as a white dude and say Europe, or an Indian dude in India, or a Chinese dude and say that is the same shit that I'm fighting for, like that does transcend race. Like if I'm a poor Indian, I'm fighting for my rights. If I'm a woman, fighting for my rights. If I'm and like that message that he had, like he's coming from a black perspective. I want my rights, but at the same time, like that message of I want my rights is still something that transcends race, and you have to. You can't have a message that's solely
I guess. Well, I just look at it like this. So getting back to Prince, I feel like you're absolutely right, but you're saying it as a black man. That's saying that y'all are going to respect him because he was bigger than just being somebody that helped the black community. But the thing is, what white people do is they twist it and they twist it into trying to get inclusion into what's going on. So, for example, with Prince, you have a situation where because Prince transcended race, you have Madonna doing a tribute for him because he transcended race. So why can't Madonna pay tribute to when you know that Madonna really can't sing? singer. She's a mediocre talent. When you look at from the 80s, and I was looking at this stuff, they always would compare the big three was like, I mean, you could throw Whitney Houston in there too, because she was popular in the 80s. But when you say it's like Prince, Michael, and Madonna. But when you look at Prince and Michael, nobody was saying like, oh wow, Michael's better than Madonna. No, there was no comparison.
Yeah,
they were saying Michael's better than Prince, or Prince is better than Michael.
Yeah.
Why? Because both of them had supreme talent and they had those followings. Yeah. All she had was the following. And as we've seen, you can be Britney Spears and have, which she does have hits, but you can have mediocre talent and be white.
Again, it goes back to it depends on your approach. What are you shooting for?
Yeah.
Because there's got to be, that's what pop culture is. There's got to be something that's easily digestible for the masses, the popular culture. Mm-hmm. So, and Madonna brought that sex appeal at that point.
She did.
Which
she did.
Included her in that. You know, somebody write the hits. She adds the sex appeal. Boom.
Right.
There you
I
gotta
mean,
start.
to be honest, yo, and I know I'm gonna get hated.
You
on
gonna
it.
say Beyonce, and
Yeah.
I'm not, and I wasn't. You're lighter than me, so I'm gonna let you say it. But I get where you're coming from.
Because like Beyonce doesn't write her lyrics. She had 54 writers on her dip. She doesn't produce her music.
I hope the Beehive is not listening to this episode.
Now, don't get me wrong. She is a great fucking performer. She gets on stage. She can dance her ass off. She looks the part. She can sing her ass off. She has to hit those notes. So I'm gonna give her that. I mean, she got to hit those notes.
Right.
But she has a whole fucking team. Like she won the style, style icon award or whatever.
Yeah.
She has a team of stylists since she was like 13. So
I look at
she's like it's a product.
That's why I respect.
I look at her and
so
Drake.
much.
Exactly.
I think I put Beyonce
but even
and
then
Drake.
he had Rhyme Fest, and that's why like I love Kanye to death.
He
but
did,
But he created the sound, though.
He created
but-
the sound. Rhyme Fest gave him the lyrics, and together they were a great product.
But you know what though, and I actually spoke with Ron Fest because he came to Pittsburgh one time. He's working with Jasiri X, and I got a chance to bump into him.
Shout out to Jasiri.
Yeah.
That's 66.
Yeah. Brother, he just got his honorary doctoral degree and everything.
Dr. X.
Hold
Shout
on,
out.
Buzzy's gonna fact check. I threw a number out.
Professor
I
X.
threw a number out there, and Buzzy's about to fact check. Now, if it's right, I want you to react the same fucking way you reacted, but to the positive.
Yeah.
Back to what you were saying. You're gonna try to play me. I know it was right.
There it
motherfucker.
is. Yeah.
But I think
I my shit from time to time. I'm trying to get better, man. Y'all better notice. Better recognize.
I hear what you're saying about Beyonce, and I think when you don't write your own stuff, I mean, there's nothing wrong with somebody writing hits for you once in a while, because Michael Jackson didn't write everything, but you can say there are about 10 or 15 of his hits that you can be like, all right, Michael wrote those. Like you can say that, and when.
But once the talent is there,
yeah,
once it's already been established, it's different. Like if you've been writing hits and then someone writes a hit for you.
So let's all right. So we about to get into Drake because I
think Drake and I put Drake and Beyonce in the same category.
Exactly.
Personally.
Yeah.
I think they're both products, and that doesn't make them any less. Like I feel like it's great that Beyonce uses her platform now. But I think she's a product.
Yeah.
I think if you really study the history of how she came up in Destiny's Child and, her attitudes towards them other ones and shit like
the family, like they have the family.
She's a product, and that's fine. That's fine. Some people are products. Some people are innovators, or they create the like Kanye to me created a product.
And that's why I think with Kanye, as much as I might not agree with some things that he says, that for the most part he's his own. Like he's
authentic.
Yeah, he's authentic.
He is Kanye.
He's like big, and that's why I think really when you see Donald, I feel like Donald Trump is basically like Kanye if Kanye was running as far as saying whatever you want to say.
Kanye was
and that's why
fucking redneck racist.
Right.
He'd be Donald Trump.
Obviously in a different different version.
I said that. I don't give a fuck.
But
he's very
Donald Trump.
unadulterated.
Yeah.
He's who he is,
Yeah.
and that's appealing because we don't get the real in popular culture very much.
And that's what like and what you're saying, like I respect a Donald Trump. Now granted, I don't vibe with any of the shit that he's saying, but I respect him of like a outward racist. Like it's the motherfuckers that'll smile in your face but not give you a job. Them motherfuckers are the real problem. You know what I mean? Like if I'm down south and you walk past me and be like, get out of my way, nigga. Like I know where you stand. We gotta understand it. But like don't be like, hey, how's it going, African American brother, but not give me a job because I'm black.
Right.
Like that's a whole different thing. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say people that you eat with every day, that you break bread with, and that are cool with you, that listen to your music or whatever, and they we got mutual friends that are black and all that stuff, then it'll be cool. But then it's like the thing is when stuff is like a silent killer, as opposed to being, if you see somebody that's got a knife in their hand and you see them from a distance, like, all right, I either got to prepare to deal with them or I got to get away, but you can see it coming. You can make the appropriate response.
Exactly.
But when somebody is right next to you, up under you like that, And then when shit really hits the fan and we need to all be on the same page,
They
and it's
got
just
a
like,
sniper on
well,
the roof.
yeah,
right?
it's just like, you know what?
Take him out.
I just remembered I am white. I don't have to deal with this. I don't have to be here. We out here protesting and they talking about arresting people. You know what? I don't have to be here.
yeah.
I really don't have to be here right now.
that
I really
choice.
can go back now and be who I am. It's like the Paul Mooney thing about everybody wants to be a nigga till it's time to be a nigga.
Yeah.
It's like that shit right there.
So let me ask you this. Do you think Kanye made it cool for people to go to college and rap? Because there are more people embracing education now.
Backpackers.
As far as
I
think about it. Like back in the day, I don't want to say back in the day because I don't even know. Back in the day, I don't know what time reference,
It's all
time
relative.
period that references. But like, there was a point in hip hop where you made a decision to be a rapper as opposed to education. It was like, because the streets is a short stop. Either you're slinging crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot
right.
type of mentality. Where now it's like we embrace this education, and maybe you didn't finish college. Maybe you realized college wasn't a thing for you, but you pursued a secondary level of education and shit like that. And I think it's become like J. Cole went to college. Kendrick seems very educated, though I don't know if he went to college, but he seems very educated.
All right, absolutely.
And I don't think Kanye, personally, I don't think he gets enough credit
he doesn't,
for that.
He doesn't get, so I feel like, so to use a reference right here, because I'm from Philadelphia, I can't help but bring up Allen Iverson. And I feel like, so what we see a lot of times, I'm going to make an analogy. Basically, the way you have Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry, Derrick Rose, you have a lot of these guards that are like scoring point guards and stuff like that. That's not to say that Iverson started it, because you could go to Isaiah Thomas before him, and I'm not trying to say that Iverson started. But when you're talking about the modern day combination guard, then you have to give it to Allen Iverson, because even Chris Paul, who would be considered a pure point guard, looks up to AI because you see what he was able to do. You couldn't just put him in a box and say, you're a point guard. Kyrie Irving too. You couldn't just be like, if there was no Allen Iverson, you wouldn't have Kyrie and stuff like that. So I feel like to use that in hip hop, without Kanye, you definitely don't get Drake. You don't get J. Cole. If you listen to J. Cole, J. Cole produced mostly his first two albums, just like Kanye did with Late Registration and with College Dropout.
Yeah.
And you look at the differences, I don't think that J. Cole enjoyed the same success as Kanye, because the beats just weren't as good.
Well, he wasn't Kanye.
Right, he wasn't Kanye,
Yeah.
but still he was following that format. And then when you hear the references to Sally Mae, or you hear the references to just trying to get ahead in school, I think Kanye definitely. I know for me personally, he was somebody that. So if I can take you back to the 03-04 era, when I was a senior in high school in Philadelphia, basically we had Philadelphia Freeway. We had Get Rich or Die Trying by 50 Cent. We had the Black Album by Jay-Z. We had, I think it was Chicken and Beer or something like that by Ludacris. We had all these kind of albums like that, and they were great mainstream.
I'm mad that you threw Chicken and Beer in there, but go
I know. I had.
Hey, Chicken and Luda, man. Shout out to Luda, man. He's one of my faves,
fuck
man.
outta
Yo,
here.
his punchlines are
Fuck
legendary.
outta here with Luda.
They
I
are.
get so
Punchlines
mad
are-
when
his
people want to
punchlines
tell me Luda's
are
a super
legendary.
lyrical rapper in his day.
Hey, man.
Fuck out of here. He made Saturday Ooh Ooh.
His
Get the fuck
his
outta here.
punchlines are legendary,
They
man.
they
He's
are,
got
but I
bars.
understand, because sometimes when it's too over the top and in your face, like I'm nicer than you, and I'm nicer than you. It's the way he says this shit that makes you be like, wow, that nigga's
Nah, Luda had one
Nah,
verse
man,
that
he's-
impacted me is when he went at T.I.
Stump. That shit was tough.
Please
Hey,
stay off
man.
the T.I.
I
Hazing you undergraduates. I remember.
I got a lyrical Ludacris playlist that I can fucking drop on y'all.
Lyrical,
I mean,
not-
because he's got like 8 albums, he's got mad hits, and his punchlines are he's one of the best punchlines in
But I don't think he's one of the best
in the industry.
punchlines. He's one of the best.
Well, to me, because
personalities.
if you doing that, then you gotta bring Fabulous into the game.
Yeah,
and
Fab.
Fab is somebody else who I feel like he was like a poor man's Jay-Z, because he had the quote unquote charisma. But when you I hate to be like this, and the sexist people that are saying, "Oh, you're being sexist" or whatever, they're gonna get mad. But he made too many girl songs, and he kind of pigeonholed himself. And when you're always like, Jay was able, he could give you "Excuse Me, Miss," but he could also give you "Dirt Off Your Shirt." He could mix it up and
But he
stuff
didn't
like
give
that.
you "Excuse Me, Miss" till 6 albums.
Right,
in,
to sit,
too.
right. Just like even with Kanye,
He went-
Kanye didn't give you like the 808s and heartbreaks and all that stuff that and Yeezus and all this
That's
stuff.
the album we don't talk
get-
about.
Right.
I don't talk about 808s. That never happened.
It happened.
I like some
decent.
stuff on 808s.
You
Didn't
like
happen, man.
Ludacris?
I do.
Fucking
808s was
is
terrible.
good.
808s
Nah, I
was-
can't. I can't say. I can't go
808s
terrible. I can say it was
808s
different.
was good.
It
It's
was-
hard to go terrible
He did something
because
different.
I mean, we're looking at
He took
Lil
T-Pain
Wayne and
sound-
T-Pain,
Right.
when they were both heavy,
Yes.
heavy,
And then
into
Kanye
the
got up
autotune.
in there.
And then Kanye just basically combined the two
He
and made
did.
some. And then and
it
like,
was genius. I
was-
know the word genius gets thrown around. I'm just saying for him.
It was
Why
it was
are
an
you
album.
so paranoid?
It was-
That's my shit.
That shit is
that's
bang.
one of,
I don't know, man. It was
You
an album.
worry about the wrong thing.
You know what?
the wrong thing.
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to.
You gotta listen to
I'm
that
gonna
shit
go back
again.
again because when I heard it, I guess I heard it at a time
It was
where I
such
was
a-
completely done with it.
Yeah.
When Jay-Z dropped Death of Autotune, I was
I
like,
didn't
this is about a
understand
year
why
late.
that even mattered. Fuck Jay-Z. Jay-Z
Because
dropped
everybody
Death
was
to Autotune
fucking
so fucking
sick
what?
with- no, but it was-
But
it
Jay-Z's
was-
made a career on jumping on people's waves. So
I
because he
get it.
says he's
He
going
does.
to kill a wave,
No, but
that
what I'm
matters?
saying is,
No.
what I'm
Fuck
saying is that
outta
shit was
here.
terrible. That
He
was
been jumping on
T-Pain.
waves.
Don't get me wrong.
Since
T-Pain did it well,
2001.
and he took it to a place that like, and then now you get your Futures and shit like that, and people still fuck with it.
Future's
But like,
dope.
fuck Future, man. He's terrible.
See, Future is one of those guys that I want to hate, but he's got hits, man. It's just hard because when you're in the car,
Because he's not
it's just
here
like, wicked,
for
wicked,
the
wicked,
lyricism.
wicked.
He's here to
Yeah.
make you have a good
Right.
time.
He's here to make you turn up.
Yeah. Oh, he's got music that you need to be fucked up.
It's
to
like
listen
a
to.
hierarchy.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like there's
if you
Future-
got- oh, you
Listen
do.
to-
It's like
You're
this-
not- nobody's listening to
I
Future
drove
sober.
to New Jersey and listened to Future the whole fucking way.
It's like-
That's because you're just reminiscing from a time that you was fucked up.
Yeah.
That's like-
But what else do you do in life?
But it's like,
What else do you do
but then
in
you
life
got-
but
but then you-
reminisce to a time
it's
when
like
shit
you got-
was better?
You got Future, but then you got Designer, and who sounds, and you got these clones, and it's like even with that kind of rap, there's like a there's like a hierarchy. So there's Future, but then there's Designer, then there's Rich Homie Quan and Young Thug, and I
I
can't
put Rich Homie over Designer. I mean, Designer's got
Yeah,
one song.
Rich Homie has
Rich
his own
Homie is
sound.
definitely
Designer is
over
just a
Designer.
straight
I can't
clone.
believe we talking about this shit because we was definitely talking about classic hip hop, but it is what it is.
Well, hip hop isn't pigeonholed to like a Tribe Called Quest style of hip hop. I mean, hip hop is life, man.
Right,
And in
it's
life,
diverse.
sometimes you going out to have a good
Yeah.
fucking time.
It is.
Sometimes you're super political.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to sit there and think.
I feel-
And I think that's what's happening. And I give a lot of credit to Kanye when I was talking about the backpacker thing. You're allowed to be an intellectual and be into hip hop now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're fucking. The millennials, there's a lot of black people in this millennial society. There's a lot of fucking black entrepreneurs, college graduates. They're
Yeah.
not all going to want to listen to somebody get shot. Like, they're going to want to listen to some shit that's
Yeah.
thought-provoking and all that. That's why Cole and Kendrick are so huge.
Right.
And I think we get what happens with us, we become so, like, you might come from the hood and then go to a pit that's
Right.
like a pseudo Ivy League now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And so you got both of those influences in your life, and you like hood music. You might have grown up listening to No Limit or some
Right.
shit like that, and then now you fucking listen to the Cole, and all that shit's on your playlist. All that is,
Yeah.
and I think what I appreciate about you, that realness about yourself. You pay tribute to a lot of your influences during your performances, but at the end of the day, you're always you. So you come out, you say, I'm Nerd Boy, and that's cool. And people might have whatever perception of that they have, but at the end of the day, you're entertaining. And when people sit and listen to your show and go through your shit, they appreciate it. It's like, yo, that was dope.
And it's great, like, and I vibe with you on that because like sometimes I get into my bag or whatever, but like, you know, I read somebody was like, look, man, like hip hop isn't just that, like you said, that one genre. Like it's a thing and it grows and there's just so many, and we should be happy that there are so many different types of. Sometimes sometimes I'm in a conscious mood. Sometimes I want to turn up. Sometimes, I'm with a
But
lady.
you're not trying to listen to KRS all day, all night.
Exactly,
It's
yeah, I'm not-
absolutely
No
yeah,
way I'm
exactly.
listening to
I'm not-
KRS-One all fucking day.
And it's crazy because
You
like
gotta try here, but bye. You know, you're not trying.
and it's crazy because like there's a lot of criticism, in rap, right? And like, and it's like, oh, it's like, it's degrading women, like, you know what I mean? And like, and they say, well, how can you listen to this
Men degrade
and listen
women
to that
everywhere.
And we live in a culture.
We
live in a culture.
We live in a
rap culture.
world. Yeah.
We live in a world.
Yeah.
The whole world.
The whole
degrades
world.
women.
The
I
whole
mean,
world.
Watch
is
Game
not-
of Thrones, and they got bitches coming out of burning buildings naked.
Yeah,
and
truth. She did the walk of
Khaleesi's
shame
is getting
fucked
locked up.
I was
shit
watching
like-
this old school video. They had, I think it was Macho Man Randy Savage, and he was talking to
he's talking to
this girl. He's like stop talking. He was like walk that way.
He's like, oh there, sister. Who told you to talk?
Yeah, he was.
Did I tell you to speak? Go over there.
It's like when Drake says, "I hate calling the bitches, but the bitches love it."
Yeah.
Or when J. Cole says, "Back when I wasn't calling bitches so heavily," whatever he was saying.
When
No role models.
When Lupe was like, it was like a word I heard and sort of liked. You know what I mean? Like, it's like it's one of the things like it's a word or whatever. But like that's the thing is that like you can be an educated man and sometimes you want to hear about like titties bouncing. Sometimes you want to hear about the drug game that you. I mean, sometimes you mean, but like
a good titty in my day.
My thing is that the problem that comes in is when you have those that don't have that same diversity and that's all they're listening to is that one. You know what I mean, like that gun rap, like because you being a teacher or whatever, you get those students that like Lil Wayne, he really be bagging up. And it's like, no, he's not, man. Like, this is all just some, like, it's some bullshit. Now, back in the day, and you still got a couple maybe here and there. Back in the day, there was some rappers that, like, turned from that life to rap and, whatever. A lot of these motherfuckers is just selling a lifestyle.
Right, they're not really like that.
And then you have these young kids that are listening to it. And that's all they listen to is Gucci and Jeezy and the trap rap. And they believe that, like, that's that, you know what I mean? And they don't have they don't have any, like, access to the Roots or Tribe or Common, you know what I mean?
Well, part of the thing, too, and I think Ed can appreciate this from the things that we've both performed at together, I think the kids, so it's all kind of cyclical. So once you take the arts out of school and kids are no longer playing instruments, like the marching band was always going to be something that was a little bit nerdy or geeky. But the thing is, though, once you don't play any instruments, like the thing is, you don't have to join the marching band to have a strong music class where you're actually learning. But being over at Weston House, I see how hard it is for these kids to do that. They don't have an appreciation for live music. And what happens is when you don't have an appreciation for live music, you don't have an appreciation for live performances.
Yeah.
So how could you possibly find any kind of value in the Roots or Q-Tip or even Kanye, any of these guys? Like, I remember when Kanye was performing with a full orchestra and stuff like that, but people, they can't appreciate that because they're just not there. And when you can't appreciate live music, it's like you're not able to eat real food because all you've been fed is this stuff. So unless it has a heavy 808 or it has some kind of repetitive hook that we can all repeat real quick, then you're not into it. And I think that's why, like, you're not going to see kids looking to go to and it all connects to the arts, because once you take away what real music is from the schools, then the kids, they're no longer going to have it. All they're going to have is whatever the media pushes on them to keep us in the cycle that we're in now, as far as going to prison and just adopting things and thinking, all right, well, that's what we need to do.
I've said it a million times. The first instrument they put in my hand was a fucking recorder. And I never played another instrument.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
because they gave you that wax shit. They gave you that
bullshit.
Right. They gave you that bullshit. It's like,
fucking
yo,
plastic
like
recorder.
teach me some real, like in our schools, we need to be learning some real shit. Like teach me how to play a saxophone. Teach me how to play a flute. Like really get there. Really sit with me and let me explore on the piano. But because there's so many problems just in school in general, and our abilities just to be able to deal with all the issues that the kids have at home that they bring into the classroom, that you can't even get through a lesson because you can call it ADHD or whatever it is, but we just can't sit down and focus because we're not being taught that early about what real music is. And that's why, so and I'll let you get in, even though this is his show, y'all show. But in Ohio, you was naming earlier all these people that you contributed to music. You're not just like, okay, like we got Kid Cudi or we got such and such rapper and all that. You're saying no, I think the OJs, right? You can run them down, right?
Fucking Bone. Those are sounds that we created,
and like, Bone Thugs and Harmony, the way that they rapping and stuff like that was revolutionary.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you wouldn't have a Drake without Bone.
No, you wouldn't have. They don't have none of this shit. You wouldn't have a Wiz without Bone.
Yeah. You definitely wouldn't have a Wiz.
Weed rapping right there.
Yeah.
Listen, man.
Yeah,
we gave y'all some shit, man.
So before we, we can wrap it up here shortly or whatever. But I just want to shout out Stone, man. This fucking sublimely
what you drinking? No,
sublimely self-righteous black IPA. Now apparently it got 100 on some rated shit. It was on the box. I ain't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, cause I'm like, they say some shit. This is just selling it. This might be one of the best fucking beers I've ever had. It is fucking delicious. This black IPA. It's 8.7%. They got a whole ass story on the back of it. It deserves its own story, its own tale. They might make this beer into a movie at some point. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they out in Cali already, so you know how they get down there. But this Stone 12-pack, delicious. If you got a chance, if it's out there, if you're listening to this right now, you got a chance to go hit up that, because Stone, they get these variety packs, and they always switch them up, man. Like, you never, I mean, like, every time you go, they got the Ruination in there. They got this. They got the, what is that citrus thing you sipping on over there, nerd boy?
Stone Citrus Wit.
Citrus Wit.
It says our cleverly twisted wit with tangerine and kaffir lime leaf. I don't know if I said that right.
Yeah, I don't even know. They throwing
yeah.
in some crazy shit we can't even pronounce in these motherfucking things, man. But
my shit is just Stone IPA.
Damn.
They ain't even name mine. They drank all of yours, and then they had to name mine. So I just called it what it is.
He didn't get the Cheerios. He got the toasted O's, just the O's.
Yeah, I got the King Vitamin over here.
But nah, shout out to Stone, man. They always are making some dope shit. And I remember we were talking to Zach from Shoemaker over from Shoe Brew, and he was saying how he was out there and they're dedicated to never selling out. So, yo, shout out Stone, never sell out. And hey, holler at us for some of these motherfucking ads, man. You know, because we got them cracking. You know that.
Yeah, we got that going. 500,000 people.
Yeah, it is 500,000 impressions a month, man. Holler at us.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, you know, I wanted to say how much I appreciate you guys allowing me to come out here and do my thing and talk to you guys, because I think a lot of times when all you get is kind of like the comedic persona that's on stage, is like the Wayne Brady or Chris Tucker, whatever people want to settle on as far as how they view me, then I think sometimes people miss that there's like a method to my madness.
There's a depth to you.
Yeah.
That's what we try to bring with this show. We want people to come on, and we want listeners to get a better understanding of those people, what their motivations are, what they're into, you know, who they are as a person.
Yeah, even as us as comedians, like you only get, you know, anywhere from 15 minutes to max an hour if you're a headline or whatever. And you know, a lot of times I feel the same way. I get off a stage and people just see me as, because I say a lot of wild, edgy, crazy shit on stage, and I come off as just like the bro dude. You know what I mean? The black bro dude that just gets up there and says wild shit or whatever, and they don't. And this was a way to say, hey man, there's a bit more behind that.
There's a process to this, and that's what I think people don't understand. I think like Talib Kweli had the album '04, Beautiful Struggle. J. Cole on his song Love Yours says there's beauty in the struggle, nigga. It's like that's what people, they don't really appreciate. I think if we appreciate the creative process more, than when we see people that are really following through and they're executing that on stage, then it's like, all right, because like I can look at Ed or you when I see you perform, and I can see one of you guys like, yeah, you guys can rip, you can off the top of your head just start dealing with hecklers and all that stuff. And while that is a skill, it's kind of like freestyling in hip hop. You should be able to do that. However, if that's all you're doing is just ripping on people, like it takes a lot to actually say, I'm going like be like Seinfeld. I'm going to write something with the intention of you laughing at this precise moment. I'm going to set it up this way. I'm going to say these things first, and then I'm going to say this, and then you're going to laugh here. To basically write a script and say, okay, at about line 15, that's where I'm going to bring the house down. That's a talent right there. And then when people laugh at stuff that you didn't even think was going to be that funny, but they laugh at it anyway because that's how they interpreted it as funny. I think people don't recognize that when you say you're a comedian, that's that real shit. So I would just say to anybody that's out there, if you are a comedian, you work on your craft, I respect you, but don't take it lightly. Like that's why I don't say that. I say I have some comedic energy, but I don't say until I sit down and I really say, no, this is my set right here. This is just straight comedy right here, because I'm going off the top of my head and whatever the crowd's doing, and you can do that. But it's kind of like looking at somebody like a Cassidy that, wow, he can really spit, but it's like, can he put an album together?
Yeah.
Man, I'm a huge Cassidy.
I like Cass,
man.
He fell off kind of, but I like Cass.
Nah, man,
Cass.
he just put another 10-minute joint out.
Oh, did he?
You got to know what Cassidy's here for. He's not here for the bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
I guess
he's
I
here
fuck
just
with
to.
Cass.
I
You
mess
don't need
with
no hooks from Cassidy.
I'm not as big into battle rap as Ed is or whatever, but I mean,
don't
from
even
the
like-
commercial standpoint, man, that motherfucker,
The
he
truck
got bars.
leave with
Well,
the hard
I
stairs
fucks with that.
He had it when he came out with.
He's like a hardware store.
When he came out, he definitely got bars. I remember in Philly when he on the Bigger Business remix when he said, you know, I got a doghouse in the backyard, and even my doghouse got a backyard. Yeah.
Big car, cigars, and big
house.
biscuits. The dude's been doing it big. It's big business. I'm a fucking Cassidy fan.
That shit, yeah.
So, okay, one last question,
Go
and
ahead.
then we'll let you go. coming from Philly, having more of that gruff lyricism, how did you get into your style of things? Because Philly is known for bars, but there's a certain passion and grit that they bring.
I would say,
does it come from you going to college and stuff like that, or is it just I'm just that guy?
I think growing up as a having a childhood that was relatively sheltered, even though I grew up in the hood, we were going to vacation Bible school. We was going to church. We was one of them kids that had to be back when street lights came on, that type of deal.
I had a friend like that named Romel. This motherfucker used to have supper. We'd be out playing.
Supper.
His mom would call him in for supper. It's like 6:30. We're like, dude, we about to go play hide and go get it.
It's like, nah, you ain't got ooze and ooze. You ain't got pork and beans. You got supper. Like, nah.
Supper.
I would just say that coming from a city where you think of guys like whether it's Beanie Siegel, State Property, Meek Mill, Cassidy, guys like that, I would say, I think what helped me go in a different direction while still respecting them because I love Meek not so much. I mean, but it's not even
jump off of Meek because of Drake.
But it's Drake,
but
I never was really a big fan when he first came out. All I can say is that I liked him more before he got to MMG. If there ever was a point where I could say I quote unquote liked Meek, it was when he was doing In My Bag. He was in Philly and he was the nigga with the dingy braids. And when he first got to MMG, I felt like he was cool. That's just like I like Wale so much more.
Pandemonium when he jumped on that verse. I did like him before MMG.
But
rolling on my wrist.
But then it got even worse because then when he got with Nicki Minaj, then it's just like, all eyes are on you. You was the realest. I was the baddest. And like was the flyest. And it's just like, nigga, what are you talking about right now? Like used to be somebody. But anyway, but it's just like, damn, it's like, but that's why he shouldn't have came at Drake because he's still taking shots at Drake.
I don't know. Like I think that was just I don't respect him because I don't think he has any self-control. I don't think that was a calculated move.
He's an emotional guy.
He's emotional.
He's a thug. He's a
bag.
gangster, but he be tweeting.
He's an emotional thug, man.
I
It's
heard
like
some niggas from Philly who be like, his gangster ain't as gangster as it seems.
Well, I heard AR. So AR Ab, one of those Philly,
not a gangster.
That's different.
So
just because you go do something illegal don't make you a gangster, nigga. Like,
you could just be
did
stupid.
Something illegal.
Because AR Ab was saying about how Meek is basically like he sold weed, but he wasn't really a shooter like that. But the way that he talks, when you're in the culture, then you can say that. And I think with him,
I love AR Ab, by the way.
Oh yeah. He's the quintessential Philly nigga. Like him, he's the he got all the like the emotions, like he got the beard. He's definitely.
I just like him because he's so unapologetically gangster, but you talk to him, he's like he got some sense about him.
He does. No, he does. His street, and he don't, and he doesn't. He knows his lane. He doesn't do too much. Whereas with Meek, I feel like Meek got caught up in trying to pursue mass appeal. And my thing is, if you're gonna go, like he doesn't. To me, I don't really care if you came from the hood and now you're like Snoop Dogg and you doing songs with Katy Perry. Like it is what it is. That's your life. Like. That's your life and everything like that. So I don't really care about I don't necessarily care about people that make pop hits, but it's like when you try to have your foot in between both worlds and you're trying to be basically the commercial gangster, it doesn't work. That's why when people got mad at Jay-Z, like I came out to my set at Layer Cake, Jay-Z's song Sunshine, which he got grilled for, but I'm just like I don't think
the song was the problem, it was the video.
It's the video.
He went bad boy in that video.
Okay, shiny suit, man.
Yeah, he went like super neon lighted background.
Okay, so maybe that's what it was, man.
Because it looked like it looked like one of the Bad Boy videos. I can't think of what fucking.
Okay, that's what it was. Because I could never get that. Because I'm like, the song itself is hard as
the video. And then Jay-Z had that weird ass phase where he was like kind of wearing the Tupac shirts. We had like the silky Versace shit randomly. Yeah. Like people,
about the bling era.
Yeah, people sweep a lot under the rug when they love you. I'll just say that
they do.
They sweep a lot of shit under.
Well, there was all kinds of trends. Like I think Jadakiss, he was wearing like paper towels around his head and whatnot.
Listen, man, don't you talk bad about Jada.
Jada. I love Jada. Jada's my dude.
Jada's made no wrong moves except for signing the Bad Boy and wearing that big bubbly suit.
Top 5 Dead or Alive. This is on whatever.
Fuck, I got a belch. It's gone. All right, hey, let them know where they can find you. Nerd Boy in the building. We appreciate you stopping by, man. We definitely do. Let the people know where they can find you. Please, if you're in the Pittsburgh area or he's traveling, and performing now, make sure you get out to a show.
Yeah, because I was listening to, like, I've been listening to that album you got out since the Layer Cake Festival, man, and that shit is super dope. So I appreciate you putting out there. I mean, it's good fucking music.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that. So just to answer Ed's question real quick, people, they can find me. I'm on SoundCloud. You can just search Nerd Boy Step. I think is like the kind of thing that we're using. It goes back to when I was at Cheney about 12 years ago, and I did this song called the Nerd Boy Step. That's kind of how I got the name, because I really wanted to be Just Dev, like Mos Def, JUS space DEV. I wanted to be like Mos Def. That's how I wanted to be. But niggas, they wasn't trying to hear it. When I did the Nerd Boy Step, and then they was just like, "Yo, what's up, Nerd Boy?" And I was just like, nah, I just want to be just that, because I've been called a nerd all my life, since like I got bifocals in the sixth grade and stuff, and Family Matters was out. Like, I've been called that all my life, so it wasn't a term of endearment to me. But somehow I made Nerd Boy. I made
nerd, you got nerd bars though,
right.
Which is,
no doubt. Like
said it's cyclical.
Yeah, it is.
Always comes full circle.
They can find me on SoundCloud. You can find me. Nerd Boy Step is my handle on Twitter, as well as on Instagram, on Facebook. My government is Devin Swain, DEVYN SWAIN, so you can find me on there. And sometimes I don't do it
on Linked Up,
right? LinkedIn, got my LinkedIn profile up there. So yeah, I got a fan page on Facebook that's just Nerd Boy /Nerd Boy Step. However that shit works, Facebook, whatever. You just type in Nerd Boy Step.
They do ads now.
Yeah,
I don't know how it works.
They do ads.
It turns
into some shaded. Like your name comes up, but it's highlighted in blue. It's weird.
Basically, you can catch me real quick. Wanted to plug one event. So on June 25th at the Kelly Strayhorn Theater, I think it's
Foo.
Yeah, Foo's event.
Foo was on. You heard Foo.
He was already talking about
episodes.
it. Yeah. So they already know June 25th I'll be performing at that event. I'm really excited about it, because anywhere where I can get to, because a lot of cats don't understand. I prefer performing with the live band, just because I grew up watching so much Michael Jackson and James Brown. Yeah. So the fact that they're going to have a live band is exciting, because sometimes performing with the instrumental and rocking back and forth, that shit.
I love a live band, man.
It brings
nothing
sounds.
Beats it.
Yeah, like it's different shit.
Yeah, the live. I mean, it's live entertainment. I mean, seeing somebody play an instrument, and then like and it like with anything live, like there's an element of improvisation that goes on there.
Right, exactly.
And that vibe that you have with the band or whatever. That's gonna be a dope ass show. If you guys are listening to this, man, June 25th down at Kelly Strayhorn Theater, man. It's poetry, got some music cracking down there or whatever, some art, and it's pay what you can.
Pay what you can.
Pay what you feel, or pay what you want, or whatever.
That's why I love Kelly Strayhorn, because they get it. Like they're not like other venues where they try to gas you basically, and it's like, well, we want our people to come out, but y'all over here because y'all got overhead and y'all trying to make money and stuff, so y'all charging people whatever. It's like, pay what you can is real cool that they can do that.
Support the arts, man, and what you can. Again, if you can only support, afford $1, that's cool, man. But if you got $5, come on, bro.
Yeah, just give it.
You getting a whole show, man. I mean, $5 ain't shit, cuz. You got 10, throw it. You know what I mean?
Throw some more. Throw some more. You said you had a couple things. You got something else you want to plug, or?
See, is there anything else?
Plug the album, motherfucker.
True.
Oh, right. All right, so.
God damn, I done threw you to.
My bad. It wasn't like Kyrie to LeBron. What was that game 4 where Steph kind of pushed him a little bit, but LeBron says, "No, I'm getting this done." He gave it to Kyrie. Kyrie gave it back to him. Boom, nigga. Like, but anyway, all right. I missed it. But anyway, so basically, the album is called Philadelphia Warrior. It's a 6-track EP.
Yeah.
That I
too short, man.
Right. It's too short, and I'm working on doing some more stuff. But we wanted to kind of scale down, instead of just doing 10 tracks where you might have 3 or 4 throwaways.
Fluffs,
we didn't want any fluff. We wanted everything to be content driven, to be me as far as well executing on my voice and my flow and everything, so that people can get it. But 6 tracks on there. You got Black Academia. Real quick, I'll give just a 1-sentence explanation.
On that, John, right?
Oh yeah, we did shoot a video at Gettysburg College, and that was a really good thing. I got my friends. Shout out to Renaissance Music. It's a label that we started. We're trying to get official, become an LLC. Actually, which reminds me, I got to actually hit my man up about getting him that $35 that I owe him. But we trying to get
you
real.
Gonna get it, man. Shout out to the dude who's 35 in the hole.
Yeah, that's
good for.
That's my man Cedric Perry at
don't put his government
Renaissance Music. All right,
he's gonna be talking to him at work on Monday night. You ain't get that 35.
You ain't got that 30.
Nerd though. Yeah, nerd.
Yeah, I can't have that.
35.
He might drop me or some shit, so we can't. But nah. But so we got Black Academia, which is basically kind of like a protest song, which is an anthem talking about anti-police brutality, just talking about also violence in our communities as well. We have songs like Too Easy, which is one of my favorites because it samples A Night in Tunisia by Dizzy Gillespie, and that has a lot of influences from watching the Cosby Show, and that is basically the backdrop for that show. For that track. Then there's Chill Baby Girl, in parentheses, My Girl Is Here, which basically tells the story of a guy who's in a monogamous relationship with his girl. He's already gotten engaged to her, so she's his fiance, but he wants his cake and he wants to eat it too because his boys want to hang out, so he gets to the club. He starts having a good time. He flirts with a girl. Then his girl says, you know what, maybe I was a little loud. Maybe I was performing too much in front of his friends. Why don't I go to the club and apologize to him in person? But he's dancing with Shorty.
Terrible fucking idea.
Don't ever
by the
do
way.
that.
Don't do that
Why would
shit.
you
Apologize in
apologize
person.
to me at the club?
Right.
a text message.
Just stay your ass home. I'll be home
Just let
later.
me come home and you be
Let me
naked.
come home,
Yeah, that's
right,
all.
right.
You think I'm gonna remember the argument?
Right.
Apologize with your mouth.
I appreciate
in
it.
person.
Right. I appreciate the bacon and eggs.
And there we have it.
But yeah,
Bracey's back.
that one. There's a Poor Righteous Teacher, which basically talks about
That
being,
poor righteous teacher is dope shit, man.
Shout out to John Steves that sang on the hook. He's somebody that's a Pittsburgh product, but he moved out to, I believe it's the DMV area, DC, somewhere out there. He is right now. But hopefully we can get back together and perform. But Poor Righteous Teacher, it is what it is, inspired by the group from Trent, New Jersey. I saw Wise Intelligent perform before, and he's a real conscious dude. So I just wanted to do a song about what it's like to be a black man in a school and be underappreciated.
There's not nearly enough black
and they treat us,
educators out
and
there,
when we're
man.
in
Not
there
at all.
if you're a skinny black nigga like me, then it's like you just want me in there kind of just because you feel like I'm black. But then if you can get a big black dude, then he's even more valuable to me because he can be like a referee or a bailiff or a security guard.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
when you kind of create that prison state for our kids, then they respond accordingly.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
Poor Righteous Teachers about that. We got about 3 more left. I think we got Chill Baby Girl did all. So Coolest Motherfucker, just my experience on Cheney University's campus. And then Brother George is dedicated to my grandfather who just recently passed away, unfortunately. And I'm actually going to his service on Wednesday, but it's something where he lived a good life. He was 89, but Brother George, he's originally from Florida, and my grandma, from the South, they just called everybody brother, and his first name is George. So Brother George just talks about the guy that, with all due respect to my father, was the most consistent male influence in my life, and to have somebody for almost 30 years and then they're gone, it's definitely a shock. But the good thing is that I was able to just rap about him on the song and kind of talk about what it's like growing up with him, where you had those kind of grandparents that they never had to hit you, but their presence, they just commanded so much respect that you just said, you know what, I'm not even going to push him. I'm not even going to go to the limit.
I was listening to that song and like how you pointed that out. Like, look, man, he ain't never touched us. He just had to give us a look.
Right, never hit us, but he stayed me, mugging.
Yeah.
What y'all doing back there? Nothing.
Yeah.
Pop, don't take no miss. Pop, don't take no miss. Yes.
It's a solid album, man. Like I appreciate the opportunity to listen to that and whatnot. And good shit putting that out.
Thank you, man.
Good work, man.
Thank you.
Hey, y'all listening it up.
Oh, it's on my fault. iTunes. I'm all messed up with this. It's on iTunes, Google Play. It's on Apple Music. It's on Spotify, and I believe it's on Tidal. Hopefully, Jay will keep us on there because we paid our little bit of change for that. So hopefully, we get it for a year, and then we got to re up the subscription later.
Word.
But hopefully, they
Damn,
keep us on
Jay,
there.
you and man. Let me,
I know what the exclusive.
all right, man. I ain't
All the way up.
Hey, man, if you got Tidal,
They
tune in, man.
Let the people know where they can find.
Hey,
us.
man,
I'm
we
mad
are
at
the
Jay
Drinking
now.
Partners, and you're looking for us. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Libsyn under Drinking Partners. You can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partners. epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod, and you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher. You know what? I already did that, motherfucker. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. Just a quick shout out. We got these ads cracking. Holla at us.
As always, I thought he said ass cracking.
That's what I thought he said too. I was like,
I was like, wait a minute. Because he
Sunday.
said his daughter was a raw asshole earlier. Then he said we got the ass cracking. I was like, we pimping now too over at Epic Ass. Hey, but listen, as always, we want to thank our guest, Nerd Boy. Check him out. Good music, solid foundation, great performance if you can get out to see him. Shout out to Stone for these good beers.
Citrusy wit.
And if you don't know, you will now. Drinking Partners is the crew. Epicast is the family. And we out here.